Hello? Can you hear me? Welcome, welcome. It's like 5 people watching. That's cool. How's everybody doing? Great. So, anyway, this is my first actual stream. I did a test stream this afternoon and I had a few people in and they said they could see me and hear me. So, that's a good start. And I just thought I would pop on tonight and give you a little tour and answer some questions. Um, I have been an Apple II and Mac collector for quite a while, and I've now set up a bunch of my crap, as you can see in the basement. So I've got a couple of cameras set up. I don't know if I'm going to use them all the time, but I just thought I'd throw them all up to start with. So I've got my main camera here, and then you can see there's a studio camera, which if I go this way, I'm now at the workstation, so you can see me there. Hi. And then you've got the workstation cam. So, Steve, let's not trip the circuit breaker. I put a whole new circuit breaker in just for this junk. But some of the things I might be working on this channel is stuff like the Apple IIc. This one's broken. This one needs to be fixed. This would have came in handy for some stuff earlier. It worked. And then over here on the workbench, I've got a Powerbook G3, and that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to do as a video is install an SSD, a wireless card, and a zip drive, which is actually you just slide it in, so it's not really much of an install. And then I've got Apple IIs, Macs, and other things that'll be fun to take a look at. Behind me, you can see some of my collection. I've got back there 2C, a bunch of that's different, bunch of Apple add-ons, and then over here some Mac SEs, and there's a Quadro 700, and then behind me that way is a Mac 2 FX. Jay, if you come over, just drive over to Pennsylvania. I'll get you a good beer. Here you go. So what do you guys want to see on a channel like this? I know we've got Steve's channel where he does a lot of Mac stuff, and tonight he was trying to do some Apple II stuff, which was fun. I'm into both, so I'm not really sure what direction I want to go with. There's some cool Apple II channels out there. Javier, Rudy, you got Dave's channel does a lot of Apple stuff. Joe's Computer Museum is great for that too. And then you have like Macintosh Librarian. But yeah, Joe, you want to see Apple IIe repairs? Like this one here needs some new RAMs installed. I already took them off, but hey, Jay, look behind me. Do you see anything that's not beige? Hey, Bruce, how you doing? Yeah, I want you to figure out all my content, and then when I can't fix something, I'll just send it to you, okay? Actually, Jay, that is a graphite. display. It's a DVI version. Hey, I'm not touching Steve's 840 AV. That thing is cursed. But I do have a lot of things that are broken, and a lot of things I can fix, and a lot of things I can't fix. You want me to blue and white all the things? Okay. There is an iMac around here somewhere. It's buried under all the beige things. And then there's a Mac Studio that you can't see. Wall art. That's funny. But there's a bunch of stuff you can't even see. It's in the room, and I couldn't even fit it all in this corner. Apple Pie July. Let me catch up here. So far, I like the Mac Studio great. It's super fast. The previous Mac was the Mac Mini, which is running that screen back there. Now it's a server. I've got this thing running 3 cameras. It's doing a bunch of stuff in the background and driving the Thunderbolt display just great. I haven't tried to like edit a large video yet. I haven't had a chance to do that on this machine, but so far it's pretty awesome. I like the fact that it's got the front connector, so I can plug my phone in, and then I like that it has USB-A ports, so I can still plug some old stuff in. Tom, which version did you order? Because I ordered a stock, basic one. I didn't customize it at all. Steve, if you're in here still, I've got something here that you probably want. Yeah, I got the base model too. It's just the 32 gigs and 10 cores or whatever. Yeah, Vintage Hillbilly Shack. I'm gonna see about getting a mic. To start with, I spent my money on cameras, and I wasn't really sure what I was gonna do. I tested it out earlier with the webcam that's over here on the studio, and it seems to sound pretty good. This is just the built-in mic on the Thunderbolt display. Hey Chris, how you doing? Hey Mike, welcome. So, $25. Yeah, I could probably swing that. Use some of my Lisa money. I don't know how Steve sits here and chats for 9 hours straight. I'm already thirsty. So here's something I'm trying to work on for the Mac. Some of you might be familiar with these little thingamajigs, and they have it's a reset switch for a Mac 2 or an SE, and the little tabs, they break off easily, and I've got a whole bunch of these with the half the tabs busted off. So I'm trying to figure out a system to attach something new onto here. And I don't want to 3D print the whole thing because I want it to look right from the outside, but I think I have a way to do this using another part that I have out of a different model and graft that on there. I'm trying to figure out what glue is going to work good enough to hold it, though. Yes, Joe, buttons. I'll see you, Chris. Thanks for stopping by. Steve is made of magic. Yeah, he is. He got frustrated with me on that Apple II stuff, but that was mostly because he was trying to do 4 things at the same time, I think. But super glue and baking soda. Oh, hey Ron, how's it going? Yeah, I saw Tech Tangent's video on doing that where he built it up, and I was actually going to try that for the door on my 17-inch multi-scan. One of the 2 tabs broke, but I have the piece, so I'm going to try it on that. Thanks, Steve. Thanks for linking to it on yours too. That brought me up to more than the 3 subscribers I had to start with today. But I got a sniffle, and I don't know where that came from. So anyway, what I plan to do around here is a lot of it's just going to be me tinkering with stuff. I might turn on a camera, and you'll just see me replacing RAM or building a machine or perhaps retrowriting something. And I do have all that equipment down in one space now, which is nice. I used to have everything in 3 different rooms in the house. If you ever followed me on Twitter, you probably saw all these pictures of computers on the dining room table, which became very annoying for other people in the house. So mostly everything is down here now. There's 2 or 3 computers in the living room, but there used to be 20. And now I've got a lot of stuff moved down here. If you look over here, if you can see on the studio monitor, there's 6 Apple IIs there waiting to get worked on. 2 of those actually came from Ron. They gave me, and a whole bunch of joysticks that I have to look at and repair. And then there's about 10 more floppy drives up there that I've got to take a look at. And I'm going to need to review somebody else's YouTube channel on Apple II floppy drive repair, see if I can figure out the problem with some of those. And then I'll try to do it myself. I did pick up a Mac SE 30 recently, and it came with this box of discs. I've got Microsoft Word for Macintosh, copyright 1991, so I'm not sure what version. Oh, here it is, Word version 5. That's new. And Excel version 4. And it looks like it's in French. So that's interesting. I am in northern Pennsylvania, which is right across the lake from Canada. So we find a lot of stuff in French around here. Oh, this is a good one to play this online one time. Got Load Runner for the Mac. And Macworld presents Click Art. There's lots of cool stuff in here. I'll have to go through that. I'm not going to do a whole lot of tinkering on this stream. This is just more or less to say hi and welcome. Click art. Yeah. There's another tub. I can't figure out how to open. There it goes. Oh, I like this. Macintosh System Tools. Backup copy only. I guess I'm not allowed to use that. I don't think I've ever even played Load Runner Vintage Hillbilly Shack on a Mac. I've only ever played it on an Apple II. Of course, I have that. And I have joysticks for the Apple II, so that makes it more fun. Everything else in here. Oh, here's a hardball for the Mac. It needs 512K. Lots and lots of pirated stuff. What does this say? MS Word 3, backup, do not use. Jay, I'm not firing up the soldering iron tonight. I will be doing an Apple II repair on a stream. And I'm going to recap a monitor on another stream. I did get something cool though. I haven't actually had time to try it out yet. It's I got the Hako, however you say it, FR301, and that is going to be used on that Apple II board because it's all of those dip sockets are just jammed with solder. And I was either going to try the way Bruce does it with the needle, or I'm going to try this solder sucker. The Apple II boards are pretty resilient, so I think the sucker might be the way to go. Vintage Hillbilly Shack. I don't really have much non-Apple stuff. I've got that's not modern. I have a VIC-20. I had that PC Junior, but that's in the mail. And for a computer, I've got a TI-99 4A, which has got a broken space bar, so I haven't really been able to use it for much. And I would like to get some kind of an Atari machine at some point, maybe an Atari 800. So if you guys have any questions for me about what's going on around here or what else I can work on, I've got, I do have these things over here that are probably going to need Steve's help with this stuff. I got this really nice Powerbook. The door was actually on it, but I took it off because I was afraid I'd break it. But it's a Powerbook 165C, and it almost works, but I'm pretty sure it needs recap. I actually got it to boot once, and then it said no. I did boot it off of a SCSI SD, and only worked after I took the original SCSI drive out. This was interfering with it somehow. Do I have any PowerPC Macs? Yeah, I've got a 70. I got two 7500s in the box. I've got a 7600, and I've got a beige G3, and then a whole bunch of G3 iMacs. Well, the other thing I got recently was this smaller PowerBook, which everybody thought for some reason was a Duo, but it's actually a PowerBook 100. And this works, but it's going to need caps. The screen is just barely visible, but it does start to boot. The only thing wrong with it physically is that it's missing the foot on the right side. Came with two batteries and the floppy drive. The floppy drive is really cool. I never had one of these. The only PowerBook this age I used to have was like a Duo. I never had the Soul. It's cool floppy drive with the door. But the other thing too is with the 165C, this is some kind of replacement battery, and it has some grunge on there, so might be a tiny bit of battery leak somewhere. But I was surprised that those things worked as well as they did. The 100 came with an AC adapter, but it was dead. And I got lucky. I don't know where I put it now, but I got lucky and I had one that was included with a bunch of junk I bought. There was no PowerBook anything, but there was a PowerBook 100 adapter. So that was kind of neat. And then I've been playing with zip drives lately. I've got, for the G3, I'm going to put this VST zip drive in it. But I was hoping I'd be able to use a zip disk to go between all these systems. The G3, the base G3 has one built in, and I've got a SCSI one, and I've got a USB one. But I forgot about the fact that on the newer Macs you can't write to HFS, so I'm not sure what to do about that. Mike, you like my flying toasters? But that Quadra 700 actually came with like a bunch of After Darks on it, and the hard drive was still working but sounding horrible. So I cloned that that one has a SCSI SD in it, version 6, and it's pretty quick in there. That 2FX right back there, I only just fixed that like a month or two ago. That's still running on the original hard drive, amazingly enough. I backed it up already, but for now it's just chugging along on, I think it's 160 meg. And then I think it was last weekend I went and got, and it's hard to see because of the glare. I'll have to fix that. I got that Apple IIc in the box, and it was sold to me as broken, but the power brick was bad. I switched the power brick and it was fine. Let's see. Let me try something here. Bear with me for a moment. I need to learn what I'm doing. That's not right. Oh, that's how you do that. Yeah, I'm just trying something out here. So if I come over here, you guys can see me still, right? And can you hear me okay? Joe, I knew you were going to say that. I went and looked for like 15 minutes. So like, where's my Mac 84 and my Joe stickers? And I can't figure out where they're at. It's just not fair. I'm sure I'll find them as soon as I click the end stream button. It'll be like sitting in front of me somewhere. I was trying to put some cool stuff here. How does this thing work? I have this Windows machine here, and it sucks. But I put it here so that I can see the chat while I'm over here. You think I sound better over here? Because now I'm on the mic that's on the webcam. And I'm going to echo because I didn't turn the sound off. Okay, well, that's good to know. I think I'm just going to get a mic that I can wear. And then I can sound better no matter where I'm sitting. So this PowerBook right here, this was sold to me for $20, and it had a shattered screen, and I knew about that when I bought it. And Garth was nice enough to hook me up with a replacement screen, which I put in. And the only thing weird with this one is that I didn't get a battery with it. I got a floppy drive, and I got a DVD-ROM drive, which is really heavy for some reason. And then now I've got a zip. So I'm thinking the DVD is sort of useless these days. So I think the floppy and the zip would be where I'm going to go with it. Hey, Sean, how's it going? Thanks, Rockin' Cat. Yeah, I think the mic in this like brand new webcam is probably better than the, I don't know what it is, 10-year-old Thunderbolt display mic. So anyway, Joe, I'm going to find your sticker. I'm going to put it here. And I don't know where they are. Anyway, this is something to work on a different stream. I have to open that up because I want to put this this SSD that I got. I had to order this from China for some reason. I couldn't. It was kind of hard to find a parallel SSD. This is kind of weird. It comes with a little tiny ribbon cable, but it's a brand I never heard of before. It's a What is it? Jensen. Made in Japan. Kingspec.com. And it's got just a PATA connector on it. But I thought that would work out good in the Powerbook. How will I watch my Hackers DVD? I guess I can play it on my Mac Studio, which has a DVD-ROM hooked up. I switched back to the Thunderbolt mic. So does this definitely sound worse? $33 subs on the first day. That's pretty good, huh? I'll drink to that. Maybe I'll have this beer. Hey, Hillbilly Shack, are you actually streaming or making content? Because I haven't seen your channel. More distant, okay. Hey Joe, is that the mic that it's like a little block I've seen people wearing? Okay, I'll look into that. I kind of want something like that, so if I want to hop around in here while I'm working on stuff, kind of like when you watch Steve and he's like, "Let me go grab the thing," and then you can't hear him anymore. I'd like to be able to go back over in the Apple II corner, or go back into the vault back here, and still have you hear me. Well, hopefully, when you start your thing, you can do a video on that item I sent you. Yeah, lavalier would be good. I don't know if I want that big blocky thing hanging off. Everybody's shirt always looks like. But now the other thing about this channel is I'm not sure how often I'll be able to live stream because I'm usually only home on a weekend. So look forward to some weekend streams. I'm going to try to make some regular videos, and those I'll release during the week when I'm gone, so that you'll have something to look at. But it's just going to be little sort of, not shorts, but short videos, like how do you install a Apple Disc 2 card in an Apple II, stuff like that. You know, little one-off things. Hopefully there'll be helpful things that people can look up and not have to sit there for, forever being yelled at. They can just be like, here's how you do the thing, done. What do we got here now? Still getting used to this, so bear with me for a minute. So it says there's 11 people watching and 33 subscribers. That's pretty good. I wonder what happens if I like my own video. Now I've got some other things going on over here. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with these things. But I've got several of these OWC external hard drive enclosures. They're made out of aluminum. They're really nice. But they've got FireWire 800 and eSATA and USB 2 and FireWire 400 for some reason. I think it might be fun to grab some old SATA drives and jam them in here and see what we can make them do. I do have FireWire 800 working on the Mac Studio, but I was thinking maybe I can pull out an old Mac Mini and we can see what we can get going with those. It's hard to find FireWire cases now. Yeah, it's like liking your own tweet. So speaking of Twitter, most of you probably either found me through Twitter or from Steve's stream earlier where he linked, or I linked it myself, this channel. But if you wanted to follow me on Twitter and you're not already, it's at Hulkintosh, and that is a name related to my green Mac SE, which is oddly not out right now. And that's another project I'm going to be working on the channel. I'm sending, actually already sent off some stuff to Joe to fix for me. And when I get that back, I'm going to install some of it into the green translucent Macintosh SE case. And I've got some goodies to add on to their sort of action retro style with an upgrade and a raw SCSI probably, and a USB adapter to use a USB keyboard. Hey, Jay, let me go grab something that's not beige for you. Here you go. It's a blue zip drive. You happy now? Yeah, the monitor that's sitting on my modern rack of stuff wasn't really even supposed to be in the shot, but this camera is a wider angle than my old cinema display, so it made it bigger, and it kind of wrecked the setup I had. But I mean, I don't have a whole lot of other stuff that's not beige. I got a bag of Cheetos that's pretty non-beige. You can have that, Jay. Hey, Joe, did you ever figure that out? I'll be back in one sec. That's weird, Joe. Anyway, I went and grabbed this. This is another project I want to work on the channel. It is a Mac. You've probably seen one of these before. This one is a 128. And you might notice it's missing a couple of parts, like a screen. What I want to do one day is, what is that doing in there? There's two HP USB mice sitting inside this Mac. What I want to do one day is build this from parts. All the screws are in here. So what I'm going to need to do is recap the power supply and repair a 400K floppy drive and do diagnostics on the board and install a CRT and adjust all the settings on that and we're gonna make a original Mac 128. I've got an original board that matches the serial number or the year, or it's the one that came in that shell originally, and that needs repair too. It needs two new resistors because some fool hooked a handset cord in to their keyboard and blew up the keyboard bus. So, and I don't want to do anything crazy with that one, not to start with, but I do have a really cool upgrade card that actually solders onto the 68,000, and we're going to play with that too. And then I'm going to see if I can add SCSI and hook up a blue SCSI to a Mac 128. So I do have two different boards. One of them is the original. I'm not going to mess with that, and I've got another 128 board that I'll solder stuff onto. So that'll be coming up. Probably not in time for Macintosh. I got into this really kind of late, and there's only 3 days left. But who says you got to do Mac stuff in March? I don't. So do it when we do it. Joe, if you still need, if you need another power supply, if you can't solve that one, I've still got SE supplies. There's at least 6 of them here, I think. And I don't have a use for all of them. Every Tosh is Macintosh to me. Okay. I do have another weird Mac that I want to look at too. It's a Quadra 650, and it doesn't boot, but there's no damage on it. So, and it doesn't have leaky caps. I'm thinking it might be a power supply issue. So that'll be something for us to take a look at one day. Somebody melted their driver's license number. Oh, that sucks. I have a lot of Apple IIs that have property of such and such school, like melted into the case or in ink that I can't get off. I was thinking about maybe on the ones that with the ink, just giving up and trying to pull one of these. Hang on. I think Apple IIs are cool, but I think when they're this color, they're even cooler. Just I don't know why. I like the black. The only thing is I can't get black keyboards. Yeah, Rocket Cat. I've tried the Sharpie removing Sharpie. That's worked for a lot of stuff. I've used dry erase markers. I've tried just like IPA, like this. What is this? 99% stuff. It gets a lot of the ink off, but if they wrote it on there in the 80s, it's just stuck at this point. It's like in the plastic, in the texture. Joe, is there like a piece of debris or something? Like is the can still on the power supply? Yeah, I was looking at Twitter earlier. I think there's somebody on eBay trying to sell an Apple sticker for $79 or something. It's like, I got piles of these things. So I think I used this one in like 1985. That's okay. Formula 409. What happens though is when I use solvents like that, it seems like it gets most of it off, but then there's like that little texture on the plastic on the Apple IIs that it just won't come out of. And if I try to use like a magic eraser or something like that, it takes the texture away. So there's a Toast 8. Goes good with Parallels for Mac. You can run Windows XP on your Intel Mac. How old is this? Doesn't say. I think it's version 1. Yeah, the rainbow static clings. I like those. I have a few of those around. I had one on my car. Some weird guy yelled at me. I don't know what he was ranting and raving about, but he kept pointing at my sticker and telling me, or just yelling stuff. And I just drove off. I don't know what it was all about. Yeah, I looked for a copyright. Maybe it's on the bottom. Oh, here we go. Copyright 2007. That's not very old. That's probably one of the newest things I got in here. Maybe. Another thing I got to work on is I have a ton of these Apple II power supplies that are the Aztec version. They have the little 6-pin plug. Look at that focus. I haven't turned most of these on yet because I don't want to stink up the whole basement with refas exploding, even though that would be fun. But a lot of these older ones have, this one doesn't. This one has 5 screws on each side, but a lot of these have a rivet instead of a screw, and it's a pain because you got to drill it out to open the thing up. And I want to fix some of these because I've got at least 12 Apple II motherboards that I've got to fix still that have RAM or really dumb problems. Vista. This actually says compatible with Windows Vista and XP and NT in 2003. You can also run 98, 95, and 3.1. Also works with OS2 and MS-DOS. Operating systems sold separately. I wonder if there's anything in here. I don't know that I ever used this. Oh, that's nice. There is Parallels for Mac, and I'm going to cover the number. A pirated copy of XP Pro. Stephen Buggy. I've actually dealt with him for quite a long time. I first bought some parts from him back in 2011, something like that. When I was doing, I was making Apple II floppies and selling them as a side gig. He's been an Apple II guy since the dawn of time, I think. I actually recently bought some Apple IIc keys off of him. I had 2 keys missing on a IIc Plus, and he had the right keys. Yeah, Vintage Hillbilly Shack. That key that's on that disc is actually the key for my old job, and I installed it probably 500 times, so I actually just know it still. And I haven't installed XP in 6 years. Yeah, when I bought the 2 keys from him, it was just 2 plastic keys, a C and a D. He sent me, excuse me, a bunch of photos and paperwork about Kansas Fest, which I hadn't been to at the time, and all these documents and stuff, and his business card, and how to test your floppy drive, and all this other stuff, um, which I thought was pretty cool. But I don't know why he goes to all the extra expense when I'm just buying like $4 worth of parts. So I got one more thing I want to show you, and then I'm going to probably end the stream. I'll be right back. Power. Give me a sec. So this is a Mac Classic, right? This is something I'm working on, and I'm going to complete it on the channel. Need a power cord. And I think it'll be a fun project. See if this works. Hold on a minute. How did I do this before? I need to take the cover off. Just for a sec. So here's my Mac Classic. But it does something a little weird. It's upside down. Is it going? I can't see from this angle. That's slow. It needs a new hard drive. Anyway, eventually it comes up, and it's somehow running OS 10 in color. But it's not perfect yet. But I think it looks pretty good. I've got the border working, so it's not all off the edge of the screen like a lot of these. And I'm going to add a one of these little guys that are hard to find, which is a iMate, so I can use an ADB keyboard and mouse with it. And I think that'll be fun. I've got to get it all working. And then I want to put in a LS120 drive in place of the floppy drive. So it will still have a floppy, but those drives connect by USB, so they'll still work. And yeah, Hillbilly Shack. It is I think it's a Core 2 Duo Intel Mini. Yeah. So, and I did not kill a classic to build this. The motherboard was battery bombed, and the CRT was burned, and the power supply went to somebody else who had a bad power supply. So all the parts got reused. The floppy drive actually ended up in my Quadra 700 back there. So everything got used, and I'm not modifying the case at all. So the case could actually still be used for another Mac if it could. Now it has another Mac in it, but and I got that Mac Mini for $25. So yeah, Hillbilly Shack, actually, all the LS120s I have that were the USB externals, when you take it apart, the inside of the case is just IDE, and that weird connector on the back, that's just IDE. That little cable with that blob on the end of it is actually an IDE to USB converter. So I could probably hook the IDE up in place of where the CD-ROM goes, but I don't know. All right, Patrick, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Dave, you got one in a SE30 case. I have a couple SE30 cases, but they're both not in very awesome shape. The one I just got was the reason I got it cheap is because it was battered, and like it's bad enough like the CRT is, the mounts are broken off. This one actually had a good case, and I was able to build a bracket. And when I make a stream about it, I'll go into it more. But when I built a bracket to hold the LCD on, I'm trying to do a 3D bezel. Joe was actually helping me with that, but the design we found online is it's like 3 millimeters off. So I have to figure out how to modify that. Yeah, Hillbilly, the LS120 externals I have, when you open up the case, all it is a 3.5-inch IDE internal inside there, with no faceplate on it. Joe, I couldn't figure it out either. I'm gonna write to the guy who made that item and tell him my deal and see if he can do it for me. I just haven't got around to it yet. But not only do I want to do this Mac Classic, I want to do an Apple IIc monitor that I've got that's dead. The same kind of deal. On that one, I actually found a composite input monitor, and it looks great as far as I can tell. And it's going to be the same bezel, so both projects need that. But anyway, I am on a trial of StreamYard, and I only have a limited amount until I buy in. So I'm going to go ahead and start and get ready to get out of here. I really appreciate all you guys coming out and saying hi. I know this is probably not a very super exciting stream, but it's more or less practice for me. Blue Apple IIc monitor. Not blue. White. Got a retro bright like Javier. But no, I don't want a blue. I want to do color. Joe, have you ever found a blue CRT? Because I've been looking around forever and I can't find one. Thanks, Dave. Thanks for coming and supporting me. I think I'm gonna probably open this beer and say cheers to all you guys. I appreciate it. I might be able to stream one more time this week. Blue is a color, yeah. Joe, some of the Mac CRTs I pull out, especially on the older ones, seem more blue than white. But they're technically white, but they're bluish, but like a real blue one. I've seen them. I've just never seen them for sale. But if anybody ever needs a white 9-inch CRT, I've got about 6 spares that are just loose. So anyway, what I was saying is that I have an odd week this week. I'm not traveling during the week. I'm actually traveling during the weekend. So I might stream again maybe on Wednesday. If anybody wants to watch, I'll probably have an actual project to do, and I'll put it up on Twitter and have it available ahead of time. If you subscribe and turn on the notifications, you'll see it. I'm not going to try to be that guy who's saying that all the time, but since I'm new, and I think I'm probably going to start with this just the simple hard drive swap in the Wall Street Powerbook. So look forward to that. But otherwise, unless anybody has another question that shows up in the stream in the next 2 seconds, I'm going to go ahead and end it here. All right, then. Y'all have a good night. Thanks.